Get settled in, relax, take a couple of breaths, land in this moment. Sometimes we can feel overwhelmed, weighed down, chaotic, and scattered. We can feel paralyzed and unable to move forward, not knowing the next step. A great way to find that next best step is to list out all of the things that are in your mind that you have to do. All of the things that are making you feel overwhelmed, scattered, that are taking away your peace. And when you make this list, you just write. It doesn't matter if it's a to-do that is for your business, for your home, for your personal growth, whatever it is, you just keep listing. It's a brain dump. You list all of the items, even if it's cleaning a bathroom, whatever it is. Creating a presentation. Completing an online course. Make the list of everything as your first step. Once you have a full list, you begin sorting the items. I use numbers. So a number 1 would be something that needs to be done in the near future, kind of the most urgent. So in that list, you're going to go through and you're going to write a number 1 next to the things that absolutely have to be done. If there's a bill with a due date, if there's a presentation happening the next day, if you have to take a family member to an appointment, things that absolutely have to happen as soon as possible, but for real, as soon as possible. I know you may be thinking that all of the things are number 1s, but that may not be true. Number 2s are next on the list. So these are pressing, but they can wait. They can be prioritized once the number 1s have been completed. And finally, the number 3s are longer term. So maybe there's a item on there that you would like to look for a new car, or you would like to research places for your next trip, although that might be a number 1. So you simply go through your list and just be really honest with yourself. What needs to be done first in that group, and write 1s next to all of those really important things that need to happen quickly. Number 2s somewhere in the middle, and finally number 3s. Do that for every single item on your list. Now what I usually do is I create 3 separate lists. Yes, it's rewriting. You can do it on your phone, on your computer, or handwrite, whatever you would like to do. And I make a new list of all the number 1s. Make another list of all the number 2s, and finally, all the number 3s. So I start with my number 1 list. And there may be 3 things on there. There may be 20. Depends on your lifestyle. What I do is I prioritize. What is the most urgent thing on that first list that needs to be done? and looking over each item and taking time to really think it through. Choosing in order of need and numbering 1, then 2, then 3, 4, however many items you have on the list. And make sure you give yourself some grace. Don't look at this as judgment on yourself. Don't give yourself that opportunity. Simply look at this as a tactical way to gain control or a feeling of control back into your life. It's like a game plan, an action plan. So you have a couple of choices. You can leave this one list with all of your number ones that are now prioritized and start there. Or you can do the same for list number 2 and grouping number 3. Simply put them in order of priority. Now, once you start to gain momentum and complete items on the list, you will notice a feeling of relief, clarity, energy. You may be surprised at how many items you start to knock off of the list once you get into a state of flow. You also have a couple of options. You can just go nuts and just keep knocking off that list to catch yourself up. Or you can pace yourself. It depends on your style. If there's a risk that by biting off more than you can chew, you will just completely stop again, then I recommend pacing yourself. And just looking at your schedule, look at your calendar, look at your lifestyle, and think about what realistically you can complete within the time you have available, and plan accordingly. Another fun aspect is you can celebrate. You can give yourself a reward after you finish that, each grouping. So that group of 1s, the group of 2s, the group of 3s. You can choose to reward yourself, I don't know, buy yourself something or have a dance party and just celebrate or go out for dinner. But building that in just gives your mind a little motivation to keep going. And note that life happens, and as time progresses, you may have new items that are going to need to be categorized, and as you're working through, you can simply add those in. Add them into whatever list they belong in. And if they need to take priority on your number 1 list, then simply add them in and just let that be your next item. Before you know it, you will have your backlog caught up. You will have your life back. And you will have a nice little formula moving forward to either help you catch up like you did, or to prevent the backlog from happening. So give yourself some time, maybe after this, and maybe sit down and start that list. Then do the groupings, then prioritize, and then get going. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Namaste, peace, and awesomeness to you and yours.